Let's call the meeting to order. Would you please call the roll?
Person Pearson?
Present.
Member Shavaro?
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we get to item 1, the minutes from the last board meeting, I'd like to read a letter to Julie Norman from Julie Lee, who's the acting secretary of the Government Operations Agency. As you may all know or not know, Julie is retiring effective December 30th of this year. We're going to miss her, but she's put the Victims' Compensation Board in great hands. You've been with the board for many years, but I would like to read a letter from Julie into the record, and then I would like to give you a copy for you, Julie. On behalf of the Government Operations Agency, I would like to thank you for your service to the state as Executive Director of the California Victim Compensation Board, the nation's first and one of the largest victim compensation program. Since 2008, you have established and overseen numerous programs that have served and benefited the victims of crime. You have raised awareness of victim services by working with federal, state, and local partners on campaigns such as the National Crime Victims' Rights Week and Sexual Assault Awareness Month each April. Under your leadership, Julie, the department has secured increased funding for victims of violent crimes and received federal grants for cases involving mass shootings, which help facilitate victim recovery. Your tireless work as a victim advocate, including serving as the second vice president of the National Association of Crime Victim Compensation Boards, demonstrate your commitment to serving others. Thank you for your leadership and example as a public servant. Thank you. So let's move to item 1. These are the board meeting minutes from the November 21st board meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Actually, I do have one, if you don't. It says under adjournment, it says the next board meeting is January 30th. Can we change that to December 12th?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Other than that, do we have a motion? Yes. Okay, and I second that motion. It's been moved and seconded that the November 21st, 2019 board meeting minutes be approved with the correction. All in favor say aye. 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 The motion passes to approve the minutes. Now we'll go on to public comment on items not on the agenda. So this is the opportunity for the public to comment on items that are not on the agenda. If you'd like to make a public comment, I invite you to come forward and state your name for the record. And I would just like to let folks know, because these are items that are not on the agenda, the board really can't engage in a substantive discussion with you. What we can do is hear what you have to say. And with that, I think there is one person who is on the line. And this person is a attorney from Bet Zedek, Mr. Matthew DeCarolis, and he's on the phone.
Mr. DeCarolis? Sir? Okay. Let's see if I can get him back on the phone. Looks like we got disconnected. Hold on one moment.
Hello, this is Matt.
Hi, Matt. It seems that we got disconnected. This is Michelle Greer from the Victim Compensation Board.
Yes.
Hi, it is the public comment section, and you are free to address the board.
Okay, great.
You can go ahead, Mr. DeCarolis.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yes.
Good morning, esteemed board members. My name is Matthew DeCarlis. I'm a staff attorney in Los Angeles at Bet Zedek Legal Services. We are a nonprofit legal aid organization. I have spoken with you and your predecessors previously. Our organization and the Coalition to Abolish Slavery and Trafficking, CAST, have spoken with you in the past about the bill that we sponsored, Assembly Bill 629, which, as you know, the governor has signed into law this fall, and it takes effect on January 1st. So both CAST and BetSedic sent you a letter last month offering our support and partnership in whatever way would be helpful to you, the board, and the staff as you prepare to implement Assembly Bill 629, which, as you may recall, requires the board to promulgate regulations to allow the board to provide lost income payments to survivors of human trafficking, this terrible crime. And so, on behalf of CAST and BetSedic, I just wanted to address you in public comment to reiterate the contents of our letter and to offer our support in whatever way we can be over the next several months as you implement AB 629 and allow this group of crime victims to receive the benefits of that law. So we thank you very much, and we thank the staff as well.
Well, thank you very much for your comments and your letter and your offer to provide support to the board to help them in any way they can to implement this new bill. And I'm sure that folks will be in touch and they will take you up on that offer in any way that they can.
Wonderful. Thank you again, and happy holidays to all of you.
Same to you. Thank you. Okay. Anyone else on the phone? Why don't we move on to item number 3, which is the executive officer statement. Julie, if you could please give your report.
Thank you. Good morning, Madam Chair and Mr. Chavarro. This is my last executive officer's report. I normally wait until January of each calendar year to brief the board on some of the accomplishments of the prior year, but since I won't be doing that this year, I want to take a few minutes this morning just to talk about some of the accomplishments that we have achieved over the past year. And as I go through these, you'll notice that the subject of them is the victim compensation program. But I think it's really important that I emphasize that all the work we do is a collaborative effort among all of our divisions within CalVCB. So when we talk about improvements to the program, I want to acknowledge the work of our information technology group, our admin folks, our legal division, public affairs. Everyone in this organization shares in the mission and shares in these accomplishments that I'd like to mention to you this morning. In January, we reorganized the compensation division in our headquarters office, and before the reorganization, each team handled one step in that application process with application intake, eligibility determination, and benefit determination. Our new teams manage applications now by geographic region, modeling on the workflow at our county offices. This reorganization allows our staff to manage each application throughout the workflow, and of course, as a result, allows staff to cross-train and learn new skills. As a result, this reorganization has increased productivity and decreased processing times. In April of this year, and I've mentioned this a few times to you before, we launched the public portion of our online portal, the CalVCB Online. This portal now enables applicants and those assisting them in the field to apply online from their smartphone or other devices. To date, we've received over 3,700 online applications, representing over 30% of all self-filed applications. So this has already had a very significant impact on our ability to reach people that might not otherwise be aware of the program. And we're looking forward to the full launch launch over the next several months. To promote the online application process, we've applied for and have been awarded a $2 million grant from our partners at Cal OES for the Improvement to Delivery of Victim Services program. The grant is going to be utilized to promote this online application tool with regional advocate training, seminars, stakeholder outreach, and a comprehensive advertising campaign. We'll also be updating our e-learning for advocates to incorporate information about this new online application. And then in August, I'm proud to say we finalized our Cal OES and Cal VCB strategic plan for victim services. This plan represents 15 months of extensive collaboration between our two organizations and reflects our shared commitment to raising awareness and improving the delivery of services to victims of crime across the state. There are many more things that we have done over the past year, but I highlight these because of the direct impact they have on the victims that we work so hard to serve every day. So I was going to mention my retirement, but you beat me to it. But just let me say that, again, all that wonderful things that Julie Lee, our acting secretary, conveyed in this letter really belongs to everyone in this organization. It truly is a group that understands and is committed to collaboration, and it shows in the effectiveness of the delivery of the services we provide. And I can just tell you that I will repeat this afternoon, but it has been my privilege to serve in this capacity, and I appreciate so much the support of all the staff allowing me to lead them these last 11 years, and of course, to all present and past board members, I also express my appreciation and gratitude for your support and confidence in my ability to lead this organization. Thank you.
Very much appreciate your leadership, and this is your last board meeting. So we hope to see you again, obviously not on the dais, but maybe, in the audience or in another capacity. Okay. So let's move on to item number 4. This is the Penal Code Section 4900 claim of Moonshadow Naomi Taggart that will be presented by California Victim Compensation Board Acting Chief Counsel Laura Simpton. Laura, would you please brief us on this item?
Good morning, Madam Chair and board members. Moonshadow Taggart requested compensation under Penal Code Section 4900 based on a conviction for escape that was reversed on appeal due to insufficient evidence. Taggart was in prison for a total of 977 days, during which she also served 528 days for 2 unrelated convictions. The hearing officer recommended granting compensation for the remaining 449 days that were solely attributable to Taggart's erroneous escape conviction. However, the Attorney General urged the board to recommend compensation for all 977 days because but for the erroneous conviction, Taggart would not have been sentenced to prison for the unrelated offenses. At the October 2019 meeting, the board voted to reject the hearing officer's calculation in favor of the Attorney General's approach. In accordance with the board's vote, the hearing officer prepared a board decision recommending compensation in the amount of $136,780 for all 977 days of Taggart's imprisonment. The board must now decide whether to adopt the written decision as the basis for its prior vote pursuant to Title II, Section 619.2 of the California Code of Regulations. Because the board has already decided to grant Taggart's application, no appearance was requested by either party.
Thank you. Is there anyone who would like to address the board on this item? Is there any discussion on this item?
No, staff recommendation.
Okay, I second that motion. It's been moved and seconded that the board adopt staff's recommendation to adopt the board decision in support of granting the application for compensation in the amount of $136,789 as payment to Taggart for 977 days of erroneous incarceration. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion passes. Thank you. We'll move on to the next portion of the meeting. This is the victim compensation program of the agenda. It is the disqualification of Marlena Hunter, MFT, a provider of mental health services. And this item will be presented by Victim Compensation Board Assistant Deputy Executive Officer, Robin Famel B. Good morning.
Good morning. Today I'm presenting on the board item to permanently disqualify Marlena Hunter as an authorized provider of mental health services to eligible claimants of the California Victim Compensation Board. Ms. Hunter started her own company called New Beginnings Psychotherapy while she was registered as an associate marriage family therapist and billed for services directly to the board for reimbursement as a registered associate. She is unable to be paid directly for mental health services. Ms. Hunter's billing included services for the same dates of service provided to claimants between June 26, 2015 and July 31, 2015 that had been billed by her previous employer. Ms. Hunter then billed the board for services provided in November 2015 through January 2016 after she stopped working for her employer. On both occasions, Ms. Hunter fraudulently used her provider's signature on the billing. Ms. Hunter was referred to the Board of Behavioral Sciences, which ruled that there was a high probability that Ms. Hunter committed fraud and ultimately revoked her intern registration. CalVCB directly paid Ms. Hunter $7,350 for mental health treatment services. Ms. Hunter has not made any effort to repay CalVCB, and efforts to collect on this overpayment will continue. I'm seeking approval of staff's recommendation to disqualify Marlena Hunter and not reimburse for services if she were to obtain a new registration or licensure from the Board of Behavioral Sciences. This would apply to either private practice as an employee or as self-employed.
Is there anyone who would like to address the board on this item? Is there any discussion on this item?
I'll move staff recommendation.
I second that motion. Any discussion? None? It's been moved and seconded that the board adopt staff's recommendation to permanently disqualify Marlena Hunter as an authorized provider of mental health services to eligible claimants of the Victim Compensation Program. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion passes. Thank you. The next item on the agenda, the disqualification of Susan Swim, MFT, a provider of mental health services, has been removed from the agenda and will be heard at the next board meeting on January 30th. Now we will move into closed session pursuant to Government Code Section 11126, Subdivision C3, to discuss numbers 1 through 46 of the Victim Compensation Program and to act on the minutes from the November 21st, 2019 closed session portion of the board meeting. The board is reconvening into open session pursuant to Government Code Section 11126 subdivision C3 to report out action that the board took. We approved the closed session meeting minutes from the last board meeting on November 21st, 2019. Do I have a motion for numbers 1 through 46 of the Victim Compensation Program?
Yes, I'll move staff recommendation on all items.
I second that motion. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion to adopt staff's recommendation for numbers 1 through 46 passes. Is there any other business that needs to come before the board? Seeing none, the meeting is adjourned. The next meeting is scheduled to occur on January 30th. Thank you.